Hey everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it's time for more Blue Mage. It's been a bit, but we are ready to go. Got us up to level 30, and I also went ahead and crafted a whole bunch of gear that should last us all the way up to level 40. So we'll be able to get gear upgrades basically almost every single level until we hit level 40. Nice, awesome. Let's get started. Hello, Martyn. Martyn seems even more distracted than usual. Learned phase, have you? Good to hear. Listen, I've got a few things to take care of, so your training will have to wait. Sorry, but can you come back later? Really now, what are you up to, Martyn? Well, if it isn't Satora, how goes the training? Well, Martyn just ditched me, so, my debut can't come soon enough. I think I've learned quite a few spells at this point. That's what I like to hear. I have high hopes for you. Anyway, enough chit-chat. I came to talk to you about Martyn. You and I both know about his recent and highly embarrassing troubles with debt collectors. He assures me that they have been paid off, but it seems he's borrowing from other unsavory characters instead. I can't have my star attraction putting himself at risk like this. If he's involved in something that could damage the reputation of the Celestium, I have a right to know. How about you two? Surely you must have some idea. Martyn has many secrets. He certainly does. So, he went to take care of some things, yes? Perhaps we should look into exactly what these things are. Satora, he's your teacher. I'll bet you're as eager as I am to get to the bottom of this. Come on, let's go and look for him. Alright, he's run off on us, left us with no training despite saying he would train us again when we learned phase and hit level 30. And apparently he's getting involved with shady people. This is not what we need happening right now. Martyn, what are you up to? Hello there, Royce. So he's come over this way then? He just went into the Alchemist Guild. He's trying not to draw attention by wearing something inconspicuous. And by that I mean not blue. But why all the secrecy? Could he be buying medicine? Perhaps he's got some awful condition. That would explain where all the money's going, but I don't think that's it. Where's he off to now? With me, Satora, the game is afoot. Okay, so he's stopping by the Alchemist Guild. And it looks like now he's gone out to Western Thanalan. Okay. Martyn? Seriously, what is going on with you? Medicine would make sense. Stopping by the Alchemist Guild would be very expensive if it's medicine for some condition, but it looks like he's waiting for someone. Shh, they're here. You know the rules. Money first. That ought to do it. Look, I know this ain't exactly above board, but this is costing me more and more every time. And the packages stay the same size. In fact, I think they're getting smaller. Not our problem, mate. Dream flowers are in short supply. If you want them, you'll pay what we ask and take what you're given. Dream flowers? Someone's there. Get him. What have I done? Satora, you've got to stop them. Dream flowers. Crap. That's used to make somnus. a very dangerous drug. Alright then. Hello there. Martyn, you've got some explaining to do. Alright, let's phase them. Should keep them nice and stunned. And hit them with our primal attacks. That works. Martyn, what the hell are you up to? So you saw everything. I'd better prepare for the worst. Thank you, Satora. If it weren't for you, things could have turned out very differently. As for you, Martyn, what the bloody hells do you think you're doing? Dream flowers? So you've been concocting somnus in your spare time. Were you planning to sell it, or is it all to feed your own addiction? Either way, you can forget about our contract. I can explain. It ain't what you think. What is it then? This had better be good. I've been buying dream flowers to make medicine, not somnus. It's for the Wallachie. They need proper treatment as soon as possible. There's an epidemic, you see, most likely brought over from Eorzea by people like me. How serious is it? Very. For Eorzeans, it's not much worse than catching a cold, but for the Wallachie, it's life-threatening. Not only that, it's spreading like wildfire. A friend of mine, a Wallachie chirurgeon, is doing all he can with the traditional medicines, but it's a losing battle. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before they're all taken by the disease. I know I'm not the only Eorzean to visit the New World, but it makes me sick to my stomach to think that I am partly to blame. I can't just stand by and watch them die without at least trying to do something. I came back to Eorzea to find a cure based on my friend's research notes. I've practically ruined myself, but I eventually came up with a concoction that seems to do the trick. Thing is, it'll take more than a couple doses to stop the epidemic, and this stuff don't come cheap. There's also the fact that the main ingredient comes from dream flowers, which ain't easy to get a hold of. So that explains why you've been dealing with those back alley cutthroats. And I suppose your business at the Alchemist Guild had some connection to the medicine, yes? That's right. Needed some tools and whatnot to help with the mixing. But that's nothing you need to worry about. I've caused you enough trouble already. It's been nice knowing you, Royce. If you told me all of this from the beginning, we could have worked something out. I've decided. You can carry on at the Celestium. As for the Dream Flowers, let's just say I know a few people. You're sure about this? Royce, I can't thank you enough. I'll do anything you ask. You can start by putting in a few more performances at the arena. I'm sure the extra money won't go amiss, will it? I was about to suggest the same thing. I'll perform in every show you've got if you'll let me. The fans are clamoring to see more of the Great Azura, so it makes sense to capitalize on that. Anyway, this hardly seems like the place to discuss business. We should head back. So, I've mentioned before that the so-called New World, known as Thrall, is based on the Americas, North and South America, together. A lot of the world of Hydaelyn is based on real-world geography and cultures, but remixed. Eorzea is largely Africa, with the northern reaches having a European influence, especially Ishgard is very French. Sharlayan is basically British. Garlemald is a cross between the Roman Empire and Russia. Othard, off to the far east, is based on China. The Azim Steppe, which we'll go to eventually, is Mongolia, etc., etc. There's a lot of influence from the real world in this game. And it's not always handled ideally. There's a lot of criticism towards the Blue Mage quest in particular, because they handled Thrall in a bit of a way. Martyn initially seems to be trying to capitalize on, oh, I'm selling Thrallian traditions and customs for to Eorzeans for a quick buck. I'm trying to make money off of this other culture and being really kind of gross and appropriative about it, and it sucks. But like, we're getting a little bit more into it, and this is a reference to real-world events when European colonizers landed in the Americas. They brought with them diseases that the Europeans had immunities to and antibodies for, because those diseases were native to Europe, to Africa, to that whole region of the world. But since those diseases weren't in the Americas before, the people in the Americas didn't really have resistances to those diseases, so the disease spread and became very, very lethal. It was a massive epidemic. In the real world, European colonizers used this fact to try and commit genocide against Native Americans by giving them things like smallpox blankets. It's horrifying and disgusting. So it is very heartening to see that at least Martyn feels guilty about what's happening and has enough respect. Bare minimum of respect would be required to feel guilty about this, but like, has more than the European colonizers did and actually cares and wants to help fix things at extreme cost to his own livelihood and ability to survive. Martyn, I respect you. Though you're still a bit of a con man and that's shitty, you're at least have good intentions, we can say. Now, that being said, given I am the descendant of European colonizers in the Americas, it is probably not my place to put a judgment on whether or not this is handled well or not. My voice is not the relevant voice for this conversation, but I can at least provide the relevant information, and you can probably find someone who actually does have have more appropriate input to give on all of it. You did me a good turn by taking care of those Dreamflower peddlers. Sooner or later, they would have bled me dry one way or another. Royce introduced me to a merchant who handles shipments to alchemists. He gets the Dreamflowers processed before being brought to Ul'dah, which bypasses the ban. Still bloody expensive, mind you. Oh, I almost forgot about your training. To tell the truth, your run-in with those Somnus dealers was probably a better test of your abilities than anything I could have thought up. I might not have much time to spend helping you get ready for the arena, but I can still give you advice. I recommend learning 1000 Needles next, which I believe we already have. Once you've gotten the hang of that one, come and see me. Actually, there's a strong chance I'll be in the middle of a performance, so Latul Jal take care of things while I'm away. Remember, your real teachers are the beasts that roam free through the wilderness. You're free to roam too, but if you get lost, your spellbook will show you the way. Good luck, Satora. Martyn already performing many times a day. Latul Jal worry more shows will kill him. Martyn's blue magic is powerful indeed, but he's just a man. Sometimes he forgets this. Hopefully he can take care of himself. Hopefully he doesn't let his guilt completely override his sense, though. Now, while I know there's a lot of criticism levied at the Blue Mage quest because not everyone feels that it's a great handling of this whole issue, at the same time, the developers have also acknowledged this, that a lot of people are not fully happy with how it's handled, and they have made statements that in Dawn Trail, which is still not out as of this recording, it is 24 days away, so just a couple weeks out, 3 weeks out, they have stated that they want to try and do better by Tural and by the culture, the real-life cultures represented in Tural, which seems from previews to largely be for Dawn Trail, it seems like they're largely going to be focusing on South and Central America, especially Brazilian cultures seems to be a focus. There's influence from Aztec and Mayan architecture. We'll know more once the expansion's actually out, but like that's for the far future for the playthrough. It's only relevant now because Blue Mage. Anyways, so with the Blue Mage quest done for today, let us go and start working on learning our spells. First off, we're going to the Shroud. Alright, our first spell we're learning today is going to be coming from the Stropers of the Shroud. Or really any Marlborough type enemies. Any Marlborough type enemy will have this because it's their signature. Wow! Speaking hard! It's their signature attack. It's Bad Breath. So once you've used Bad Breath, let's nuke you with our primal spells. And hopefully we'll get Bad Breath right away. Nope, nothing. Okay. Unfortunate. We'll have to fight a few of them then to get the spell. That's perfectly fine. Alright, you use your bad breath. We'll nuke you with our primal spells. Please let me learn the spell. Please let me learn bad breath. Okay then, you're being a little bit rude. Didn't expect it would take this many enemies. Usually get it in one or two. Oh, don't stun it. We needed to use bad breath. Perfect. There we go, third time's the charm. Alright, that's the only spell from enemies in the field for the level 31 to 40 range. Let me check what spells are available in dungeons. Okay, so I was up here with my friend Gaia, grinding out levels for Blue Mage so that I could actually start doing the dungeons and get spells, and I accidentally learned another spell. It happened again. This happened before with another enemy up here, one of the B rank hunt target. I forget what it's called, but it's a teleport spell. I got drill cannons, and there might be another spell that you get from the Magitech Vanguard, so I'm gonna keep recording just in case I get another spell. And it might have been the Magitech Vanguard H2, or it could have been just a regular Magitech Vanguard. I forget which one it is. They do also have Sermet Drill, which might also, yeah, I think that's another spell that they can teach you, so we might be about to get another one. Or not, I'll be back if I get one. Okay, first spell we are getting from duties today is Peculiar Light from the Fs here at Braveflox's Long Stop. Turns out, if you go into a duty synced, it is a guaranteed drop for any spell. Wow, I cannot type. Okay. Let's hop out of the duty. I'll mark off that I got it. And I have to remember I want to show the spell information for all 4 spells that we're getting today. 5 spells that we got today before we finish off. Okay, next up, next dungeon we're going to is Cutter's Cry. Alright, the last 2 spells we're getting from duties for today are Dragon's Voice and Ram's Voice, both coming from the Chimera at the end of Cutter's Cry. The Dragon's Voice is when the eyes glow purple, the Ram's Voice is when the eyes glow blue. Once you've seen both of those abilities, you can go ahead and finish it off. There we go. And remember, blue means get out, purple means get in. And since it's 100% drop rate, since we're level synced, I should get both of them in this one run. That'll be nice and convenient. Okay, Ram's Voice again, stay out. We've got 2 blue mages, a warrior, and a white mage here. You can go with whatever party composition, but if you have blue mages, you do have to go in with an unrestricted party, which unsyncs you, and then you can turn on level sync with the unrestricted party, and that will let you go in with blue mage level sync. Honestly, it's not too bad running with blue mages as our DPS. Eventually, as Blue Mage gets stronger and has more skills, or more spells, it will also be able to serve as tank or healer. Like, it will actually be able to serve as those roles, which is neat. But that's not where I'm at yet. We're still pretty early in Blue Mage. Here, let's heal up with a White Wind, because apparently that works on the party. Which actually kind of surprised me, but it seems to work at least. But yeah, it really isn't too bad with blue mages as our DPS here. And once we have a full party of blue mages that are fully equipped with all the spells they need, this could be done with a full party of blues. This seems extremely feasible. Alright, you die already. It is going a little bit slower than just with other DPS jobs, but that's just, I think that's just because my blue mage is undergeared. Alright, that should get us Dragon's Voice and the Ram's Voice. Okay then, let's grab our loot. Uh-oh. Oh no, Leo died! Rest in peace, Leo. Okay, phew. Then let's get out of here. That is 5 spells we learned today, 1 by accident. Oh, fair enough. They used self-destruct on themselves. That is funny. Alright then, let's go ahead and disband the party. Thank you again to my friends for helping me out with this. And let's check out the info on those spells we got. We got 5 new ones. Where can we find them? Level 5 Petrify, we got that a while back. Though, actually, the fact that it's marked as new probably indicates that we didn't actually look at the info. Let's make sure we go through and read the info of everything that's marked as new. God, now I'm not even certain which ones I did read through the info of before. Because I'm pretty sure I've been going through it as we've been going, but let's just focus on the ones that are marked as new, and you can read whatever I've missed. Drill Cannon we got today on accident from a Magitech Vanguard H2 in Northanalan. This technique mimics the drill cannons of Machina by winding ethereal currents until they resemble rapidly spinning projectiles. Like the physical drills upon which they are patterned, these projectiles excel at penetrating stone. Level 5 Petrify we would have gotten last time from Hake Manor. This curse, commonly used by Armins and similar Void Zen, takes advantage of the hubris that living creatures tend to fall prey to upon reaching certain milestones and definitely read that one. That's very much striking memories. Let's see what's next. Transfusion from a Wallaki tome. At times used by self-sacrificing spirits of the dead roaming the new world, this technique consumes the entirety of one's being to fully restore both the body and mind of another. I think I've read through that one for sure. Flying Sardine, the Apkalu in the wild, violently regurgitates its latest pescatarian meal at predators as a defense mechanism. In Blue Magic Trials, the Flying Sardine has proven to be an equally effective deterrent, even when the sardine in question is not entirely physical, reliably shocking adversaries into silence. Okay, yeah, I've got that one before. Or I've read that one before. Bad Breath. This one is new. The spell manipulates wind and earth aspected ether to call forth the umbral, imbuing exhaled air with miasma. Attempts to replicate the Morble's bad breath, sans its inherent horrific stench, have been unsuccessful, thus it retains its title as the foulest of blue magics. Okay, that's 2 of the 3 new spells. Next you are here, Ram's Voice. Scholars theorize that this particular spell was born of the variety of ethereal manipulation often performed by northern rams to survive the harsh climbs of high elevations. But when Ram became Chimerical Head, it began to favor offense over defense. Oh, I haven't been reading through the actual, spell info. Ram's Voice, 2-second cast, 2.5-second recast. Deals ice damage to all nearby enemies with a potency of 220 for the first enemy and 50% less for all remaining enemies. Has an additional effect of Deep Freeze, which completely freezes and paralyzes enemies for 12 seconds. Paired with a spell that we will not be getting until Stormblood, Ram's Voice is very overpowered. It is actually broken. It is a very good spell in combination with something we get much later on. We'll get to that eventually. The Dragon's Voice, the Blue Mage's ability to precisely direct Volatile Levin to form the smooth ring produced by this spell, is owed to the Chimera from which the technique was learned, and whose control of lightning ether was, in turn, owed to its draconic head. 2-second cast, 2.5-second recast, deals lightning damage to all nearby enemies with a potency of 200 for the first enemy, and 50% less for all remaining enemies. Enemies within an 8 yalm radius will be unaffected, so it's a donut. Additional effect of a 9-second paralysis, and potency is increased to 400 against most enemies afflicted with Deep Freeze. The Deep Freeze effect is also removed. So these two combo together pretty nicely. I actually definitely want them on my hotbar. They combo together real nicely, but this is not the combo I was talking about. There is a move called, I'll just say it's called Ultra Vibration, and what it will do is instantly kill any enemy that has been frozen. Yeah, it's very powerful. It's very overpowered. I should probably go back and look at the attack stats for the other abilities. Blow Noxious Breath on all enemies on a cone before you, inflicting slow 20%, heavy 40%, blind, and paralysis. Also inflicts poison for 20 potency, and reduces damage dealt by 10% for 15 seconds, and interrupts the target. It's like getting hit with an actual Morble's Bad Breath. It sucks for the enemy. Many enemies will actually be immune to some of those effects, but not all. And let's see, the Drill Cannons, here we go. Deals physical damage to all enemies in a straight line before you with a potency of 200 for the first, and 50% less for all remaining enemies. Potency is increased to 600 when a target is afflicted with Petrification. Petrification effect is also removed. Okay, that makes sense. Petrify the enemy, then they are stone so you can actually drill through them. Very funny. Okay, what's next? Peculiar Light, I believe, is the last spell from today. A variant on a Salamander specialities, Peculiar Light disperses radiance naturally emitted during spellcasting into a half globe, clouding victims' vision. Thus, unbeknownst to them, malignant ether lurking within the rapidly reflecting beams renders them more susceptible to further ethereal assaults. 1 second cast, 60-second recast, increases magic damage taken by all nearby enemies by 5%. 15-second duration, cannot be affected by recast timer, is not affected by other spells. However, it shares a recast timer with Off Guard. Okay, fair enough. Off Guard also reduces enemy defense. What else? 1,000 Needles. We've definitely read that description before. And Basic Instinct, we've definitely read that description before, I believe. Okay. Yeah, that should be about it. That is all the Blue Mage spells we wanted to get for now. That is all the Blue Mage spells available up to level 40. We hit level 41 while doing those dungeons, which is nice. Gave us a little bit more extra experience to help us with our grind. Next time on Final Fantasy XIV, what are we doing? I believe we're moving back to the Post-Moogle. Alright then, I'll see everyone next time for that.